coldest night by far. It is Saturday the 11th of November, and you can see that last night I come back from the gym, and because it was very cold I thought just chuck the balls on. So I grabbed the bags from down the side of my cabin. I'm a bit late this year, a couple of weeks late this year for whatever reason, I don't really know, and just lobbed them on. The actual pond temperature is 7.9. I think yesterday it was a degree higher, so it's dropped 1 degree overnight, but it's lovely and sunny today. Obviously normally when cold night comes and deep frost, and we did have a big frost this morning, normally it's sunny and blue skies, which is nice actually because it's warmed up quite quick. So I just put this on, just floating in there, and the fish do come up into there. I think last year actually what I did, I managed to sort of sink it to a degree, but enough that it floats, sort of. I think I've gone too much there. So yeah, I kind of did something like that. You get the picture? That's it, I did that. And as long as that ear don't come out, it won't sink, and it never did all winter last year. And then you can see the fish, look, I've actually tapped on this, and they've actually, you know, come up, or underneath they will come up, and I just grab some food. And I'll just sort of do that and then go a bit hardcore. Just pop my hand underneath, the food comes up and inside, and then we'll see if the fish, it's too cold really, but still you get away with feeding it. And it'll show, this is probably proof that they won't show a lot of interest because the temperature is too cool in there. You might get the odd nibble. God, it's lovely with that sun on you though, got to admit, it's really nice. I'm surprised if the chagoy don't come up, the big chagoy. So like I said, I just popped these on last night, and I've just got to organise them a bit more, so I'm going to spend some time in around this today while it's nice. The missus is doing a bit of sorting out in a cupboard in there. Just going to pop to the shops, come back, and then I'll grab a coffee, and I will move these about so they look a bit better. You have to get them a little bit organised. I'll cut back all the crap in there, put it in the green waste bin. I think I'm going to turn the shower off, so it's going to return on the pipe, the first pipe that we can see next to the shower, and I'm going to turn the bog filter off, leave the water in there and just let the plants sit, and then there's another return there, and they'll go have 2 returns under the water, so it's still, everything's, the skimmer's still on and circulating. Yeah, so they've not been bothered, look, as you can see. Teddy! Hello, boy! Hello, Teddy! There's Summer! So follow them down, yeah, so they're not bothered, look, so it's just proof that if you throw food in at this time of year, you think, oh yeah, they'll be hungry because they need food, because they need to eat today. They actually don't, and they're not interested, look. So if you keep doing that day in, day out, or a couple of times a day, the food will just sit, just rot in the actual pond, and your filters aren't up for it this time of year, because for obvious reasons, the temperature, and just put pressure on the system. So yeah, it's just that time of year now, from now in on in, there's the air still going at the side there, so that'll keep going. And all of this will be shut down and cut back today. Don't know if anything's come up yet. Nothing showing itself. So yeah, lovely day. What I am interested in today is, and I'll take you in now with me. It's chilly out, that's when the sun's not on you. Surprising how much shady it is in this garden because of the trees that I planted years ago. This was all just grass type, just grass. And I'm the one that put all these plants in. Every single plant in this garden I put in just to provide some seclusion, because this was all open to the neighbours. So I would imagine that the temperature down here has got up a little bit, and we might have the bee. Yep. There's the bees, look, the sun's on them. So they are taking advantage to get, it's below 10 degrees. Just had a look at the thermometer, and they're just getting a cleansing flight in. They're coming out, look. They've pulled out some dead bees. So they'll drag the dead bees out, take advantage. That bee's obviously dying on its last way out. So they're pulling out dead bees, look. Or bees that are on the way out. And these are doing the same, so it's a good sign today that a bit of sun, they know, like me, taking the opportunity to sort my pond out. They're taking the opportunity to sort their house out, if you want to call it that. Sorting the house out, so are they. I've noticed some bees coming out of here. And then on around about New Year's Day, I'm just going to put some fondant on top, which is sugar, dry sugar, on top, and then they can just keep it and have that, nibble that, and keep them ticking along until spring, and you get some sugar syrup on them again, builds the protein up and stuff like that, and then off they go for a, yeah, so hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side, hopefully they will all come through winter. So what I want to see is what temperature I've got in here. It feels quite cool and enclosed. It'll be nice when the sun comes on here and gets beaten on it. I noticed the fish just disturbed the water, they must have been up a little bit. There's the fish in here, look at them. Nice view of them. Beautiful, that's lovely and clear. So tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going to get in there, clean that out, filter, and then that one. I might do that one now actually while I'm in here, it takes me a minute. And there's the fish, come in, make sure there's no fatalities. Look at the colour. You can't see it, I don't think, the pigmentation on the koi, between the scales, on the scales. And that's obviously because of the colour temperature and the colour food. And I've never really switched to sort of a conditioning period. And I'm hoping that that builds up into the Benny plates. You see it on that one? You see the difference in the darker pigmentation in the middle of the scale and the edge. There goes a good shot now, look, see? You can really notice it on a couple of them. We're getting there. There's a sachet at the front on that. The key was quite good on the back. So yeah, I've noticed on all of them that that is kind of changed, and that's one thing I've seen different with feeding this colour food. Whether that develops into better structure and depth throughout the Benny, we'll see. So I'm interested to see what the temperature is in here. So we've just seen the pond temperature up there, and it was 7.9 in here, where they've got 2 heaters with 2 thermostats on the side. I have to tweak them to a point where I get 10 degrees minimum in here. Let's have a look. Yeah, the temperature is still just below, well, it's about 10. And the temperature, these are looking like they want some food, aren't they? So you can see the difference in here to that one in just a couple of degrees. So this one is saying it's 9.6 degrees. And I think when I came in here last night, that is what it was last night. So it hasn't dropped in the night. So what I need to make sure now is, unfortunately, is make sure that my heaters are turned up enough to maintain kicking in at around 10 degrees. So at 10 degrees, I know these will still feed. Go down to 7 and 8, just that couple of degrees, and they won't do. And let's just prove and see the difference. See if there is a difference. I'm going to prove me wrong. I'm not going to put too many in. They've not had any food. There you go, look. Straight up for food at 10 degrees. Straight up for food at 10 degrees. There you go. A lot happier life at that temperature, I hope you agree. So, outdoor pond, exposed to outdoor elements, the cooling of the night. That one out there has dropped 1 degree in the night. This one hasn't. And I don't think my heaters have probably been on that much yet. They will start kicking in more. So if this cold temperature outside is persistent day in for a longer period, there's more pressure on the ambient temperature in this area, so the heaters will come on a lot more, as you can imagine, to maintain that temperature. But at the minute they're not. It's that time of year at this temperature, 10 degrees, that they won't kick in much yet. But once it gets more consistent, it will. But the sun helps a little bit as well. When it comes up here and starts beating on, it's surprising that it can just keep that balance, so it keeps the extremes off. And this is the benefit of growing indoors. And I think I have to you know, remind myself that this is like a reality. Like, you get a bit down thinking, oh, I wish I could eat it, heat the pond in here, which I might do in the future. But when you start to see the outdoor pond and the difference between the indoor, like now, that's when you start to appreciate having this space indoors. I can literally, you know, come in here and the sun just be sun shining through there, look, and just enjoy them. And they are more active than those ones out there, and the more that happens out there, the more quiet they'll go outdoors and sort of go more to the bottom of the pond and sort of slowly circulate around the bottom. And once you start getting towards 6 degrees, 5 degrees, they'll go into what's called torpor. Look it up if you don't know what it means. And that's when they go into a state of, people call it hibernation. It's not true. That's a myth in the koi world. Koi don't go into hibernation. The temperature puts them into torpor, and that is a mode that where their bodies start to conserve energy, and they just go lifeless. And when that happens, and they're at the bottom of the pond and they're just sitting there lifeless, that is not what they really want to be doing. Trust me. It's us koi keepers that justify the fact that you're not going to maintain the pond at a higher temperature, or, you know, because really what we should be doing is, like pets, dogs, or I don't know, warm-blooded animals like lizards, you wouldn't go and expose them and put them outside, would you? Now I know people say, well, yeah, well, these are cold-blooded. Well, they are, but they don't want to be living in cold water. This cold water, this cold, and this cold. Cold, really, ideally, is this. In an ideal world, try and maintain this. But obviously, in reality, I've got an outdoor pond. I'm in the same boat. But that one in there, what'll happen is, and I'll show you, not now, but obviously the progression in the videos, I'll continue doing videos, is you'll see that that temperature will drop, and there'll be spells, hopefully not too long, down at like 8 degrees and 7 and 6. I think there was a spell last year for a couple of weeks where it was, and you can get away with that. It's when it's long, really long periods, and they might survive, but they won't thrive, and that's the key. So it depends how much you're prepared to push your fish, because you might find that coming out of winter at prolonged low temperatures at 5 degrees, because they've been sat on the bottom of the water, the bottom of the pond, they've got sores on the bellies, so then you've got ulcers. And you come out of spring, and then their immune system may be down a bit, and then you get fluke, or you get some other parasite, because they're going to jump on that fish because they're a better host than a healthy fish, and then you get into a start. This has still got salt in it. The Shintaro Sanki's doing well, and there you go. So this is a lot more pleasurable, isn't it? See if I can get that. See the scales again? And this one as well, showing the same. They all are. It's really difficult to show. Try and get that Kawaki I got off Gary and Maratan to try and see how that's doing. Good tool, aren't they, a phone really, because you look at this lot, you can see, you're zooming in, and you can use this as a tool just to check them over. And I've noticed that Maratan Sanki looks like the Shiro, the white on the side of the scales are, let's have a look, see what I can see. On this side, look like they're more of a, yes, I think there might be a bit of, I don't know, I can't really tell. Let's have a look at that. Hopefully make sure it's okay, because yeah, like I say, koi are not going to like temperatures like this and lower. They're going to prefer warmer. So hopefully this is as low as I'm going to get. Right, I think I'm going to clean this quickly, so it's as quick. Open the drain, pump it. 3, 4, 5, 6. I can really feel this now. When I've lifted this, before it was a lot easier. Now with that new sponge I fitted on the video with a pressure filter, clean and new sponge, I can really feel it inside the filter. Hence why obviously it's trapping more muck. So I leave that for a good 30 seconds, and that's emptying all the crap. So it's still pumping through. It's dislodging everything that's sat in the bottom hopefully, and it's going to drain outside. So that's probably about as much as I want to go. I'll push that down, make sure it's dropped, leave it for a few seconds just to make sure that all the muck's gone. Turn that off, and that's that cleaned. And back over here, and the water's lovely and clean coming out there, look. Filter's clean. So I get in a comment off someone with saying that pressure filters are no good for koi, and I've got to disagree, because you've got to put it into context of the use. So if you look at mine, that is not providing much beneficial bacteria, even though it is, because it will be in the sponges clearly, so it is. I think they're designed to actually hold some plastic media at the bottom, because I'm sure it had some in when I got it, but I took it out. I don't know whether someone had mackled with it, but anyway, I took that out, so it's purely sponges, and that is working an absolute treat. So put it into perspective, I think that's 15k filter. Sure, it's a 15k. Look at the size, look at the depth of it. Look at the depth of it, look. It's a big filter, it's a big pressure filter. And it's only running 2k of water. And then it goes over all this media. Hence, I never, ever have nitrite problems or ammonia problems in this pond. Even last year, when I was running this, in this pond, there must have been 10 fish in there. 8 to 10 fish. They're mainly all in here now, but a lot of these were in here. The Achiba, the Codas were in here. The Achiba, Coda was in there. The Adam Buyer, Kohaku was in there. So yeah, there's about 8, 9, 10 fish in here last year. And I think on my heaviest feeding, it was a little bit of ammonia. So that's just proof in the pudding that get it set up right, over filter like I am, it's working a treat. This looks like a better system. 10k pump, 5k of water, easy pod. And this at times, I think this you know, may struggle next summer, because I've obviously kicked this up at the wrong time of year, and it was struggling a bit with nitrite in the cycle, and there's still a little bit of nitrite there now. But that will all dissipate, and I'm going to start it off next year, and I don't know, I might put a shower in here, see how it goes next year. But I'll probably put some of these in the main pond. So let me see if I can, can't remember why I've got this set up. Yeah, I've just turned the trickle on. So at this time of year, instead of me whacking the hose pipe straight in, filling up quick, I'm just going to trickle through the filtered system and let it fill up slowly, because the water, incoming water, might be pretty cold at the minute, and I don't want to drop this temperature down. So that's method of my madness there. I'm going to leave that on and then turn it back off in a bit. There it is. Oh yeah, still popping up for a bit of food, look. Beautiful. We're coming in a coffee in a bit, I think. No, tomorrow. So just check my filters on, cleaned. That will dump the water down the side, and then tomorrow that will dry out a little bit, or drain, and then I'll be ready again to dump all this water off down the side. Oh, here we go. So let's see if they've had any food then up there. I'm gonna go and get ready and go to the shop. What a lovely day. This is what autumn and winter's about. This, not them dreary rainy days. God, they are shite, aren't they? I might even rake this. When it's like this, it just gives you a bit more oomph, don't it? A bit more oomph. The dog's got a bit more oomph in the look, and just a bit, I don't know. God, and Bennett. So hopefully it's not too cold this year, but we get lots of sun. Christmas trees do well, come out soon. So it's lovely in that sun. Denny! Bio! Let's see if any food's gone. Has it gone? Yeah, you see, that's it. Yeah, they've been up. Something's been up. Gone. And you see, they will eat it. Temperature in here now, still 7.9. Yeah, you see them circling underneath, look. So yeah, so I've got to be careful with that, because they are eating. It's not a high protein food, it's a low one. But there's a lot of people say you don't want food sitting in the gut for long periods, but I've never had a problem. They will expel that, it will get captured by the filter, and people switch to wheat germ. I don't. I'll just get like an all seasons low protein food, keep them ticking over. And there they are, you see them underneath there, swimming along. Good time to inspect them, grab a coffee and enjoy them still. That's the chagoy coming up. See his big head. It is. There. See the chagoy underneath the water. And That's what you want. You just want to see them still active and stuff, a little bit active. What you don't want is to see them stuck at the bottom of your pond. So, on that note, in the lovely sun, look after yourselves. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like the video, and I'll see you on the next one.